Hey everyone, Kyle Erickson here. Today we are going to be talking about taking macro photos and videos on your phone. Now, out of the gate, it would be pretty hard to do proper macro on your phone. It doesn't get up close enough and it doesn't capture enough detail up close. So to grab all those little details, you're going to need something like this, which is the Sandmarc 25mm macro lens. This thing makes it really easy to get into macro without having to spend a whole bunch on a camera and whatever lenses you're going to need. And even if you do have all that stuff, it's just way easier to travel with this if you're out and about and if you're just in more casual settings. So before we really dive into how this thing works, I think it's worth mentioning who Sandmarc is. They've been around since 2013. And they make all different types of lenses and filters for iPhones, GoPros, and camera lenses as well. This isn't just run-of-the-mill stuff. They do put an emphasis on craftsmanship. They use high-quality build materials, and a portion of their profits is donated to Trees for the Future, which I think as a consumer is really good to hear and it's worth noting. If you pick up this macro lens, in the box you'll find the 25mm macro lens, a lens pouch, front and back lens caps, lens hood, a phone case, and a clip-on mount. The clip-on mount is designed to use with your own phone case if you've already got one, while the provided case is a plastic clip-in style. That's decent enough for a throw-in. It's nothing fancy, but it does have an aluminum frame around the camera area. The lenses just thread into the camera or into the clip to secure it in place. So having this stuff all metal is really nice because you don't have to worry about damaging the threads like you would if this stuff was made out of plastic. If you do want to level up on the case provided, they do offer a Pro case. I have one here that is this matte black color. The material feels really durable and it looks really cool, especially around the cameras. The metal is a space gray color. It's very similar to what you'd see on a MacBook, and it kind of gives off this industrial futuristic vibe. I really like the buttons on this case. It's gotta be one of the best cases that I've found for having proper feeling buttons. They're actually clicky tactile style buttons. I just find that most cases kind of form over the phone buttons, and they can be pretty hard to press, where these buttons are a lot easier and more sensitive. The only downside that I can find on the Pro case is on the bottom, where it's left a little bit exposed to scratching or damage. But that being said, if you drop this thing, the weight around the camera will probably pull that end down first. It's still just something to take note of, especially if you're like me and you get paranoid about these things. Anytime that my phone falls, even if it's in the case and it drops 6 inches, I've got to inspect it to make sure that everything's okay and there's no damage. But this isn't about cases. I actually want to get into this lens. I've been taking this out and about with me since I've got it. It's really easy to pack around, so I can just toss this in my pocket if I'm going out for a walk or for a hike. All you have to do to use it is just pop off the lens caps and thread it into the case and you're ready to go. If you're on an iPhone 12 like me, the bottom lens is going to be your regular camera, where your top one will be your wide-angle lens. I just stick with the main camera when I'm using this, so I'm always using that bottom one. It does take some getting used to. Anyone that's used a magnified lens before, whether it be on a camera or a phone, probably knows it can be hard to get the right focus. And this is the same deal. I think it's probably a little bit easier though to find focus than some actual camera lenses that I've tried. But it's not as easy as just pointing and shooting like your regular phone camera. So just be aware of that. You have to get really close up to your subject, but when you do, it captures an insane amount of detail. You can see really fine details that are hard to see with the naked eye. A perfect example of this is this PS5 controller. I don't know how many people know this, but this texture on here on the back is made up of little controller button icons. You'd never know this just to pick it up and look at it, but the macro lens blows it up incredibly well, and the same goes for seeing things like pollen on a bee. It's actually pretty amazing just how well this works for your phone. The thing that I like about doing macro is you can get really creative with it, and you don't necessarily have to go out and find a scene or a landscape to find a decent composition. It could be really just things laying around your house or flowers in your backyard. which can be a really easy way to get into photography. And comparatively, a macro lens could cost you hundreds or thousands of dollars if it's on a camera. This thing is only $89, provided of course you have a phone, so it's just really affordable to get into. I'll leave links in the description of this lens and the case that I'm using. The Sandmarc has a whole bunch of other lenses and filters too, so you aren't just limited to macro. So be sure to check them out if you want to get more out of your phone camera. I know even if you do have a regular camera for travel, a lot of these phone lenses can be really nice to have, and they're just easier to pack around with you. I think it makes a lot more sense to just bring something like this if you're out and about with your family or your friends. And if you see something cool along the way that you want to take a shot of, then maybe you use it, maybe you don't, but it's just something really handy and small that you can throw in your pocket and you don't have to worry about it. And ultimately, I think if it helps you express your creativity, it is worth exploring. I know personally, I'll probably be checking out some of their other lenses, but in the meantime, if you guys have any questions about this lens or the Pro case that I didn't answer in this video, please feel free to leave a comment down below. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button. It does help me out a lot and it does really make a difference. And don't forget to subscribe to see more tech-related content. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.